Hi guys, we are here for the Work with Soul 5-day online workshop, helping you do the work that lights up your soul. I am Rebecca Niziel, your co-host and co-creator of Work with Soul, and I am here today with Cerries Mooney. Cerries, how are you? Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm so excited. Yay!
Cerries is a soulful brand expert. She helps solopreneurs make the intangible tangible and is a thought leader in business and branding. 18,000 people have already taken her Soulful Brand Archetype test, and she believes that a brand without soul is a business without heart, and we could not agree more. So we're really pumped to have you here, Cerries, and I'm excited to just dive right in. So why don't you share with us, what's one spiritual practice that you use in your work?
Okay, well, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited, so thrilled. Okay, so spiritual practice in my business. I have to say, when you mentioned that you might be asking me this question, I was like, okay, how do I answer this? Because, for me, this whole idea of spirituality is still so new to me. And the one thing that has really, really changed my life in the last year that I try to do every day is I practice gratitude. And I know that sounds so basic and it's such a simple thing, but it really is the thing that has completely changed my business. Just spending a few minutes every day to write down what I'm most grateful for, and so often what I'm forgetting to be grateful for as well, which is a big part of it. Gratitude, that's my little thing that I do every day. It's very simple.
I love that. And sometimes the simplest practices are actually the most important ones and the most meaningful ones. So I think that's amazing.
I agree.
Beautiful.
Entirely.
Beautiful. So why don't you tell us, what does it mean to have a soulful brand and how important is it?
Okay. So just to kind of set the scene a little bit here, I've worked with solopreneurs for the last few years, but particularly in brand strategy for the last year. And the reason for that was I noticed that solopreneurs, they get this amazing idea that, yes, I have my idea. And then they discover that the rest of the world has exactly the same idea as them. Like when you buy and it's so amazing, and then you see everybody else has the same car. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
And so look to the branding process to really help them stand out. And what tends to happen is, in looking for that brand that will make them stand out, it's almost like they choose who they think they need to be, not really who they are. And there is this there's this real disconnect between allowing yourself to be seen and, not hiding behind the aesthetics, behind the website. So really, the whole point of branding with soul is that you're not choosing a mask, if you like. You're not just choosing these design elements and these things that you think represent who you need to be. It really is about just having that sense of vulnerability. To develop a brand that cultivates empathy. That's the way that I like to look at it. I'm a big fan of Brené Brown's work, and I really do believe that connections, and obviously that's why we turn to branding, to make connections with our people that we want to serve. Connections are built on empathy, and to have empathy you need to have vulnerability, and so that's really the importance of a soulful brand, because if you don't let yourself be seen, then others just won't see you and you burn out very, very quickly. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So it sounds like the real essence of having a soulful brand is allowing yourself to be fully seen, and connecting with others from a place of authenticity and vulnerability. And you're right, that's what's sustainable, because it's hard to be someone you're not forever. That takes a lot of work, whereas being yourself, although it takes some peeling back, is where all the beauty and the energy is. So, oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think this is the issue. It makes sense, but it's really scary. It's really scary, and I know we're going to dive into this shortly, but that's where archetypes I found have been really helpful as a tool to help get over that fear, because you're stepping into the unknown. And you, just to wrap this question out, one of the things that people used to ask me as when I was running my design business, my brand identity design business, I would say to them, "Who am I?" And they would say, "I have no idea." And quite often branding is the first time where we've really, really had to sit down and answer that question, especially when you're trying to communicate with a designer or a developer or, whoever. Having to answer that question is so challenging, and that's why I do the work that I do. It really is about bringing more soul into that so that you develop a brand that evolves as you do.
Ooh. Ooh, I love that. Thank you, Cerries. And that's such a big thing for us. The first module of our entire program is all about who are you, and that's what we spend 6 weeks really digging into, because unless you know the answer to that question, it's really hard to know what is the next step and where are you going and how do you build your business, or how do you know what job is the right fit. So knowing who you are is so important, and I know that your archetype test is a great way to just get more information and tap in to the who. So what are the advantages or disadvantages of having a brand with soul versus without soul?
Kind of something I just touched on there. I think the biggest advantage of cultivating your brand as this ever-evolving energy,
yes,
is that so often when you start out as a solopreneur, you haven't been in it long enough. Even a year in, you haven't been in it long enough to really understand how you like to work, who you like to work with, the things that really get you, that fire you up, and you have to try a lot of done things before you find the thing that sparks you. So when you develop a brand with soul, it's giving you the permission to just be human, right? Mm-hmm. And to say, you know what, people just adore being on your journey with you. And when they see that you've had, something that has challenged you, or, in some way has shown an imperfection, most the solopreneurs that I've seen with before would have tried to hide that because, oh my God, they're not perfect, I can't show it. But really, that's the thing that will set you up for, longer term success. It's that, humanness.
Yes.
And I think that really is a major advantage. And of course, the disadvantage being, if you do it in any other way, you get 6, 7, 8 months down the line, if you get that far, and you suddenly realize that you've grown out of your brand before it's even started. And I've done that myself. Brand identity designer, I've been there, I've done that, and I've seen so many of my clients do that. So, that really is the disadvantage of creating your brand as this thing that you do and then you move on, as opposed to setting up a platform that you can evolve from as you go along.
Yeah, and that's super important, because as we all evolve on our spiritual journey and through our lives, everything has to grow and evolve with us. And if it doesn't, it's going to feel like it actually starts to pull us back and pull us down. So having a soulful brand, it sounds like it will naturally evolve with you, because it is you, not this other thing that you put on top.
Yeah, and just to kind of to finish that question, I've actually found that developing my brand and my business has been an amazing channel for self-discovery.
Yeah,
I don't see it now as a side effect. My brand really is the way of it's the catalyst I'm using to discover who I am. If once you kind of relax into that, and you really enjoy the branding process, it can be the most amazing journey.
Absolutely, yeah. I've certainly found that myself, and your test is just even more fuel to continue to do that. So one thing you talk about is mixing logic and archetypal magic. So can you talk to us about what is that mix of logic and magic?
Okay, so The first thing I want to say is obviously the thing that I love is archetypal branding, and I am an alchemist sage blend of archetypes. They're my top two archetypes that kind of play in my business daily. And that's where the logic and the magic come in. Because for me, as an alchemist, I believe in things that I can't see. But my sage always wants to try and make it tangible somehow, because the sage is always looking for truth and proof, that kind of thing. So, and again, branding, it's one of those concepts that is so ethereal, right? I mean, people say, what is a brand? And that, even I haven't gotten a clear grasp of how to answer that question, because I really believe it isn't a question that can be answered. But really, what I love about archetypal branding is it's taking something that you feel and it's bringing it into something that you can actually see and you can absorb and you can understand. So really, the logic and the magic is something that's very personal to me. And my particular archetypal makeup is that I have to have both head and heart.
Yes,
that's just how I work.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So everyone will have their own unique blend, and after they take the test, they'll get a feel, right, for what their mix is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Once you've taken the test, you'll know what your primary archetype is, and then if you wanted to discover the blend, you go through and do my initiation kit offering. But yeah, the first point is understanding your primary archetype for sure, and that'll just give you that really solid grounding and understanding of who you are archetypally.
Beautiful. So for all of you watching, this is where you go and take action. So Cerries has this amazing archetypal test that she has set up. 18,000 people have done it, and we want you to take the test. So using the link attached with this video, you're going to head on over to her site and take the test and discover which of the 12 archetypes is your primary. Once you do that, we want you to head back over here into the Facebook group and comment below on what your type is, any aha moments and any questions. We'll all be here to support and chat about it. And Cerries has a really lovely gift for the first 5 people to comment below. She's going to offer her Sweet Validation ebook. So if you want that, hop on quickly. Cerries, is there anything you want to end us with or leave us with?
Do you know, I just want to really reiterate that setting your brand up with this mindset of it being a platform and not a finished entire entity. If there is one thing that I want anybody to take away from this, it's to change their branding mindset into, I'm in this for the long haul, and what can I do to make sure that happens, and to keep it all so simple that I can grow into it, not that I can grow out of it very quickly. So that's really the main message I wanted to get across.
Beautiful. Always growing. Always growing we are. Beautiful. Well, Cerries, thank you so much. This was such an honor and a treat. For all of you watching, be sure to go over and take the archetypal test. And then come back and comment below with your type and any aha moments and questions. We will continue to be here helping you do the work that lights up your soul, and we'll chat with you soon. Bye for now.